Welcome back. You're watching the Brand Equity Goa Fest special and I'm Sonali Krishna. Born in Iran, grew up in Austria, studied in France, lived in Germany, working globally. The Chief Creative Officer of DDB Worldwide makes for a pleasant but honest conversation. He shoots straight from the gut and is one man who calls a spade on camera. He's also one of the few Chief Creative Officers in the world who can take on none other than Martin Sorrell. Need I say more? Here's one rare man and his talk is truly food for thought. I believe it's your first trip to India.
Exactly.
Tell me, what are your first impressions of the advertising industry in India?
India is still in a stage of learning and playing around, and they're trying to find their own way of doing stuff.
Sure.
You see a lot of stuff where you have the feeling that the people are still copying what is successful in the Western countries,
Sure.
instead of focusing on the rich culture that you have and try to find your own way of doing stuff. And I think that would be a huge shift in the next coming years if the people would focus on their own rich culture.
Sure.
And trying to do advertising or great advertising from an Indian perspective.
You know, you've also been very vocal about the fact that you will never work with WPP.
Yes.
Ever. That's it.
No, right.
You know, we heard of your run-ins with Martin Sorrell during the Cannes judging, and you know how...
Yeah, I was responding to him.
Sure.
So I was the only guy from the Omnicom side who was responding and just trying to bring everything in perspective. So I'm an Omnicom guy.
Right.
But not in terms of the business side of it only. I think we have other values than other holding companies. And I'm not trying to be disrespectful in terms of saying our values are better or the values of the other people are more worse than us. It's a different culture. Our culture is much more based on innovation and creativity and the freedom of human beings to be what they want to be, and less about being a centralistic organization putting too much pressure on people.
Tell me, how did you see the whole Ford FIGO controversy?
Yeah.
And what do you think would have happened if it happened in your agency? How would you have dealt with it?
At DDB, our main goal is not winning awards.
Oh.
It's not, it was never been. For example, I don't know if you know it, the best ad which was made in the history of humankind, Think Small from Beatle, from 1964, which founded the creative revolution, never won an award, never. Till today, it won never an award. It is the best piece of advertising ever made. And it says a lot of things about how we are seeing stuff. And winning awards is nice, but it only proves that you are good in winning awards. So it doesn't mean anything. It's not a standard of how you are defining the excellence of an agency, you know what I mean? And I'm always comparing it to car companies. Like every car company is building prototypes. If you look at the car shows, you see all these super sports cars who will never ever be produced, but they are giving you a good glimpse of where the future technology is going. And it's great to have that, as long as you're also building great products and great cars which everybody can buy and you see them on the street.
Sure. You know, social media and digital are two words that we have heard, we hear constantly.
Yeah.
Right? Whether it be Cannes or
The
it
usual
be
buzzwords. Yeah.
What is your view on it? Do you really think it's as large as people are making it out to be?
I don't believe that there is something like social media because digital is not a medium. I believe that digital is an infrastructure and it will be the new electricity of the 21st century. And as we go on and you see the progress of technology, we will live in a world where everything will be connected. So using it as an infrastructure will help you to be much more effective, much more state-of-the-art as a company, building products, distributing them, and also communicating to people. And that's one of the biggest mistakes that everybody is doing. Looking at Facebook like a new TV channel. No, it's not, from my point of view.
Do you think the advertising industry at large is slow on the uptake when it comes to, you know, absorbing technology and adapting itself?
I think we are one of the most conservative industries. And I'm not saying it to be critical, I'm saying it as a fact. The last innovation in our industry happened 70 years ago. That was the creative revolution. That was the last real innovation. So since then, you just see slight improvements, but there was no big innovation. And we have problems dealing with progress and technology. And if we are not taking care of it and we are not taking it seriously, what will happen is that other people from the technology side will come in and they will change our business, and we will lose the importance that we have. So we should be careful about that. But you are right, we are not a very, very progressive industry.
You know, where you come from and the way you started your journey of life is extremely interesting.
Yeah.
If you can, you know, take me through your humble beginnings
Yeah.
and how that has actually influenced you as a person
Yeah.
and today your career.
So I have a kind of an unusual life story because I was born in Iran and I flew from my country because of the war and because of the government sending children to the war. So I was a refugee at a very, very age of 15 without no parents, no money and no language, coming to Austria and trying to survive. It was a tough school, tough in every meaning, and I don't want even my child to experience something like that. But looking back, it was a great school because it remembers you to be grounded all the time, especially if you're in the advertising industry, where ego and being shiny and taking care of the shiny aspects of the business is fogging the real essence of it.
And with that, we bring the curtains down on this special episode of Brand Equity. We hope you enjoyed the show as much as we enjoyed working through it. To take the time and drop us a line at brandequity@etnow.tv, or alternatively log on to our Facebook page, that's facebook.com/brandequity, to tell us what you thought of GOA Fest 2013. And with that, it's pack up time for Team Brand Equity. It's time to party.